Dexter Morgan, the world's favorite fictional serial killer, has been through a lot. So much that his show ended not only once, but twice, and as probably many of you already know, will end a third time. During the main show, which lasted for 8 seasons, there were many intriguing storylines and definitely many victims that met their end thanks to Dexter's tools.
Can you think of anyone you crossed recently?
I think we can. After 8 years of silence with an ending that left fans very disappointed, Dexter comes back in New Blood, a new limited series that continues his story and hopefully gives him a better epilogue. All is well while watching episodes 1 through 9, but as the second ending is approaching, the tension gets higher and higher.
What about Los Angeles? It's kind of like Miami, but without all that humidity.
The idea of setting a new season in the Golden State actually sounds very interesting. Since we can't feel the humidity going through the TV just yet, this new direction could give us the vibes we had from the first few seasons of the show, which are part of what made it so great.
What could she possibly know?
Out of all the horrible crimes I committed, which one is she arresting me for? How did we end up here? Dexter is on his knees and looks at her through the reflection. Maybe for the first time in his life, Dexter has actually been defeated. The arrest, however, doesn't feel like it should be. Of course, New Blood takes place in a small town, away from the Miami crowds and big police station. Remember that time in season 2 when it almost looked like he was caught? All the eyes of his colleagues and friends were on him, and I feel like that would have been a great way to bring him down and make the audience feel for him, but at the same time root for all the other characters who ended up being hurt by his actions. When we get to the station and the questioning starts, it actually looks like Dexter might talk his way out of this one, which is incredible to think about, but it perfectly reflects what this character is all about and how realistic it would be. Angela calls Batista, and finally, the moment we've all been waiting for is turning to reality. It is at this point that the fear of getting another bad ending is slowly fading away. Angel reuniting with Dexter and both of them facing the truth would have made for an epic ending, which unfortunately did not happen.
Dexter Morgan is alive?
And is sitting in my jail cell.
The dark passenger is still unaware of what Angela knows until...
And it's how I know that you, Dexter Morgan, are the Bay Harbor Butcher.
She promises to bring him to justice. She hasn't known him for all that time, so once she finds out, she is determined to do what's right. I'm sure Batista would have hesitated a little bit longer, but it perfectly makes sense for her.
Stay with the motherfucking death penalty.
Dexter does what he does best, and in no time, he's able to talk his way out of the situation with just a few words by telling her what she's been looking for almost her entire life. You see, one of the most well-respected people of Iron Lake has been behind all these murders for 25 years, and the victims, unfortunately, include your childhood best friend. She's forced to leave and see for herself what Dexter just revealed. I believe that the next few seconds are probably the most important part, not only for this episode, but for New Blood in general, because here is where everything changes. There's this scene where Dexter is in jail, and he's seeing his sister once again, but this time, she's not next to him anymore, only her shadow is. She's been representing his guilt throughout the whole season, and suddenly, Dexter snaps and her shadow disappears. He calls Logan and kills him to try and take the keys to escape. Dexter completely abandons all his rules, but wait, the first rule was not to get caught, so what happens when you do? If the first rule of the code is broken, there are no rules anymore, and Dexter desperately needs rules. Without them, he is completely lost, and the next 10 minutes of the show prove it. Even though New Blood had one of the most evil villains of the whole series, the focus is back on our protagonist, as he is not overshadowed anymore by some other serial killer we are supposed to hate.
He wouldn't cooperate.
Such a non-Dexter thing to say, but somehow that makes sense. He's not himself, not anymore. Harrison is now in control, and as he finds out about what just happened, ultimately realizes that he was only looking for a reason to love his father, but couldn't find it. All he could find was pain, grief, and hate for a person that should have been there for him but wasn't, and honestly, never could have been.
Open your eyes and look at what you've done!
Open your eyes and look at what you did!
Just like the show started back in 2006, it ended 16 years later with a line that makes you think. Was Dexter just the same as all the people he killed? The Bay Harbor Butcher is ready to give up his dark passenger in exchange for his son's happiness, in the hope that he could live a normal life, away from the curse that was cast on his father all those years ago in that shipping container. New Blood was a good revival, and all it needed was just 2 more episodes, just like every other season. 2 more episodes that would show us the biggest manhunt the United States of America had ever seen. The fall of a hero and a monster, as the whole world is watching the sins of a father.